wake up when the sun goes down. I wake up when the sun goes down. I wanna do some comedy. I wanna do some comedy. At a dive bar, at a dive bar, at a dive bar, at a dive bar. I can't say what I wanna say. I can't say what I wanna say. Uncensored. Dive bar comedy. Dive bar comedy. Dirty, bad, nasty 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 comedy. Dive bar comedy.
Hello, welcome to Dive Bar Comedy. I am Wild Joe. This is episode 88 of Dive Bar Comedy, and we have not yet changed our format because luckily we have a treasure trove of old recordings, previously recorded, shall I say, recordings from our live shows that we're able to put up to come out with our 1 hour show every Wednesday. However, that's not going to last forever. So we're going to have to start doing some interviews and recording them. Interviewing comics, checking in, see how they're doing during this stay-at-home order, as long as it may last, and how they're lasting out this pandemic. I'm doing fine myself. I am here with my babies and my in-laws, so we're getting by. I'm trying to tell everyone to stop going to the store, making runs to Costco and that kind of thing, because everyone's at the stores. The stores are busier than they ever were, so that can't be safe for slowing the spread of germs. You can get some delivery. It's actually been hard. But I found Instacart has about a 5-day wait, and you have to order in the morning. Or if you go to Ralphs.com, for example, in Southern California, you can sign up there, shop on there, and then your order runs through Instacart. So thank you to all those shoppers. I have done that before. I've signed up to be a delivery driver when I didn't have too much of a job going on. And I wanted to make extra money, and I delivered groceries for a week or two. It's a tough job in any state, in any situation, let alone when you're faced with possibly catching a horrific disease. So I don't want to put this on a down note, but we have lost a lot of our freedoms, and some people are questioning whether that's something that's a conspiracy government plan for some reason, or whether we're doing the best things that we should be doing, which is pretty extreme. We never could have imagined this situation, say, a couple months ago. So the show that I'm putting up today is from March 10th. It was our last live event before we got shut down. So the bars and the clubs and the nightclubs and the comedy clubs in LA, they tried to stay open as restaurants if possible, but a lot of them, almost all, have been shut down. There are some virtual open mics and some places that are still open, probably depends how much they're a restaurant versus how much are they a bar. Some of these places don't serve any food, and although they did allow a new law to pass allowing drinks delivery during this time. So that shows you that, there's some flexibility in making the laws profitable to those, not profitable, but at least allowing an income for some of these places that are being affected. So I'm very sorry. I should check in with our bar owners and see how they're doing, because probably hitting them harder than almost anyone in terms of, having to shut down their business economically. People are being affected so many ways by this. It's affecting people on a personal level in terms of their mental health, their family relationships, their living situation. I can only imagine how the talk would be in a time of quarantine if you're boyfriend and girlfriend and you've not yet moved in together. So if you're living apart, it's a big decision whether to move together or not, and quarantine together. Anyway, I don't want to be a downer. There are so many places you can go for news about our current situation. And I just want to try to focus on the comedy and dive bar comedy. If we're not able to get out there and join together in dive bars, let's remember the fun times we had. And then going forward, try to just have as much fun as we can virtually. I mean, however we're allowed to do it. I'm sure chat room webcam girls are probably making a pretty penny about now. But anyway, so we'll keep you posted, whenever the bars reopen and we can perform again. In the meantime, all right, why don't you guys just have some fun, whatever you're doing at home, spring cleaning, just relaxing, watching the kids, whatever you're doing. Just check out our show from March 10th at the Lotus Lounge. We have Laine Unsworth, a new comic to our show. Paul Ober, also new. And then we round it out with Dana, one of our favorite comics that we put on all the time, and one who has been very active with memes, posting funny memes on Facebook. So I got to ask her, where is she getting all these? And she's also producing content, making fun of our current situation with receiving packages during the pandemic and things like that. So check out Dana. Listen to the end. And I have a little bit more of this show that I'm holding on to for next week, because I don't want to go over the 1 hour mark. We get 1 hour a week on this show. So we're up to 88 weeks. That's 88 hours of content. You can go back and listen to it anytime. And we come out every Wednesday at 12 a.m. Eastern Time, which is 9 p.m. Tuesday night for people in California. All right. That's enough of that. Have fun, listen to the show, and enjoy. I'm Wild Joe. Hey, it is Wild Joe. I'm here at Lotus Lounge with a new to this show comic, Laine Unsworth.
Hello, my name's Laine. This is my first time on the show.
Yeah, Laine, you're a tall drink of water.
Sure I am. Love drinking some water. That's why I'm here at a bar tonight.
There's going to be a lot of soft alcohol at this bar. This is not a full bar. Lotus Lounge, as grungy as it is, only serves beer, wine. Yeah, beer, wine. I tried to get them to add cider, hard cider, and they still haven't done it.
I think my favorite part of getting drunk is also feeling really full. So I'm hoping that some of the guests feel that a little bit tonight. I don't know.
So you want like a full-bodied brown type of beer, what is it called, IPA or something?
Yeah, I want my stomach to feel like it's bursting when I'm getting schwasty.
Yeah, we all have goals. You gotta have goals.
Yeah, I want this.
Don't eat. It could be your meal. It's
I want the seal on my bladder to be like physically forced open.
Well, I mean, honestly, if you look at the bathrooms, you'll be so like reluctant to go to the bathroom here that you probably will hold it as long as possible. You might have a better chance in the back parking lot. I don't know.
Yeah, just like a dude.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, no, the bathroom's not as bad. I'm just making fun of this place.
Yeah.
The bathroom is actually cleaner than you would expect by just looking at the place.
I sure hope so. I don't know.
You ever notice that the places that have run out of seat covers on the toilet, the ones that do not have seat covers on the toilet, are always the ones that need it the most?
Yes, I do notice that, and I don't know why. Because I'm gonna be honest, I might be a dirty gal. I don't use a seat cover.
I do. But you can make one out of toilet paper, so it's not that big of a deal. But
Yeah, that is true.
But it's always like gas stations or just dirty, disgusting places. They're always out of seat covers.
I just do a quick wipe down. I'm like, if it's dry, I'll sit on it.
You're a brave woman, Laine.
That's my rule in life. If it's dry, I'll sit on it.
All right, so how long have you been doing stand-up?
In LA, I've been here since August doing stand-up for real, but I've always sort of just like done it periodically for the past few years.
Okay.
But this is the first time I'm doing it, committing to doing it at least once a month.
Once a month? There's people doing it every day.
I know. I've had streaks where I'm doing it like every day.
You don't have to do it every day to be funny. If you're funny, you're funny.
No,
but you should practice at least a few times a week if possible.
I do.
Once a week.
I undersold myself. I do try to go every week, if not more than that.
Yeah. So otherwise, you know what? Even for myself, I'm so funny. I don't have to practice.
Where do you
then,
go?
when I do like a show after a long time of no mics or anything, like if I haven't been on stage, I'm sitting there remembering my jokes, and it hurts the delivery because I'm thinking about the jokes too much, trying to remember what to say next.
Yeah. See, I like to go to open mics, feeling like I know what I'm gonna say, because sometimes I get going on an open mic and I'm like, why am I talking right now?
Both is good.
Yeah.
You got to know what you're going to say, but you got to be able to improv.
There's definitely a balance, and I think
you just don't want to draw a blank.
Yeah, I guess it depends on like what I want to do that night. You know, like if I want to like forge new ground on new material, like okay, I can like be loose and spitball. But if I'm trying to like get my old stuff down pat, then like coming in not feeling fresh.
Yeah, that's what a mic is for, to work out your music.
Yeah.
This is good stuff, behind the scenes, comedy information. All right, Laine, where can people find you online?
I have an Instagram now. I didn't a month ago. It's Lainer Time is my Instagram handle, and that is the place you can find me.
Awesome. All right, thanks for coming on.
All right, thank you.
You got that right. You guys ready for the next comedian? I like this shit. I know this person's name is so good, I had to read it a second time. So this next person, I think they have good parents. I like their name. You ever hear a name that sounds like their parents had like money? And their kid is probably kind of smart. His name is like Bunsworth or Kunsworth or Jingensworth. You ever heard anything like that? Yeah. Well, this next comedian is one of those Worth motherfuckers. Do you like Worth motherfuckers? You goddamn right. Get ready. Once again, we gotta get it hype. So we gotta go bum 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 bum. So anybody in here like Mexican music? You like corridos? So we gotta bomb. We gotta bomb before we bring this next comedian up, because we gotta get it hype, right? So we're gonna do a corrido together. And go bum 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 bum. Oh, you guys don't do cocaine in Mexicans, huh? Okay, fine. Are you guys ready for this comedian right now? Oh man, this motherfucking name is so nice. So nice. You ready for this motherfucker? It's the L.U. I think his parents have a trust look, this dude got money. So ladies, if you're single and your rent is not paid.
Her parents.
Oh, it's a her?
Yes.
Oh shit. Fellas, if you're homosexual and it's tax season. It's tax season. That's all I'm saying. Are you guys ready for the lady of the evening? Come on, put the lady of the evening. Clap, 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 clap for Laine Unsworth. That's a whole lot of woman.
Yes, very, very female over here. Actually, funny story. My parents actually named me Olivia originally. And then they realized too many girls were named Olivia, so they were like, we take it back. She's Laine. So that's how that name got there. I've never popped a cherry. I don't know if anyone's ever popped a cherry. Like, was someone just eating cherries? And then they were like, that's like having sex for the first time. And then we all got up and we agreed with that psychopath. That's crazy. Some people like to say that they were born in the wrong time. They'll be like, ooh, I should have been alive in the 70s because drugs are my personality. Or, I should have been there in the roaring 20s so I could be best friends with jazz. I think I was born in the wrong time, not for any of those reasons. No, it's better for women, I would say. So it's a good time for me, but not a good time for my skills. Like I would be a boss at infiltrating the army dressed as a man. Ladies, remember the good old days where if you wanted to serve your country and actually do something with your life, you had to dress like a man and compensate like hell? Yeah. I trick people if I round a quarter too quickly. So I'd sneak into armies. And my voice already gets deeper when I'm tired. And who's more tired than those who've seen the horrors of war? But Laine, you ask, what about your childbearing hips? Surely those are a dead giveaway. Real women have curves. Real women have curves. A bitch. I got angles. My hip juts out of my side at a 90-degree angle that says, I'm a hip! I'm very feminine! Give me a child and I'll bear it on my hip. This is a woman's body. I swear to God. Apparently my hip has some real SWE. SWE, not BDE. Sigourney Weaver energy. Oh, yeah. My hip comes swinging in on a rope ready to take down some aliens. Braid my hair. But if you think about it, in war, what would you rather use? You know, like a spiky bony booty, or just like a big ass one. I think we all know the answer. And who's more bony than those who've seen the horrors of war? Back in JV ball. Yes, that's right, I never made varsity. Girls used to say I was, quote, too pointy. So that's just a little slice of my life. Here's the punchline right here. I don't know how I feel about the word woke anymore. Because it sort of feels like it implies that white people were asleep the whole time they enslaved and conquered the rest of the world. That doesn't seem right. It's like they woke up one day and they're like, dude, what happened last night? This place is a mess. And then the rest of the world, you don't remember last night? You've been sleepwalking for like hundreds, if not thousands of years. Did I do anything crazy? Yeah, you did. You took all the people and the land and you moved them around and did terrible things and told all the women they couldn't wear pants or have jobs. This place is a mess because of you. Shouldn't have taken that much NyQuil. And it's not like it's not like white society just collectively went into a fugue state, Jason Bourne style, just like picking up the pieces, trying to put it all together. Like, it was me the whole time. No. And you can't wake a sleepwalker. The thing is, you have to wait until they get woke themselves. Just a little thing I picked up. Have you guys seen that Elton John movie? Yeah, Rocket Man. That's thank you for reminding me of my own joke. I love Rocket Man. I was really looking forward to it because it was going to give me some goddamn answers. So one of my favorite songs, Elton John's, is Our Song. And in it he says, if I was a sculptor, but then again, no. And then he just leaves it there. And it's sort of like when your friend brings up a story and he's like, nah, I'm not going to tell you. Like, was Elton just recording this song and like 40 takes in, he was still just like, I'm gonna hold back from the public. So I thought that Rocky Man would give me a little bit of answers, because I don't know anything about John's life, and I figured there was a mysterious sculptor to be heard about, and I wanted to hear it because clearly there's some secrets there. Needless to say, if you've seen it, we're in an in-group right here. I did not learn anything there, so let's hope for Rocket Man 2. I will say let's cheer on Elton John for a sequel. Lord knows he's done a number on himself and his health. So if you've seen Rocket Man 1, you would know that. So let's hope he gets to Rocket Man 2. All right, thank you.
Applause to my future baby mama, Laine Unsworth. I can get a LeBron James out of that one. That's all I'm saying. I'm about genetics. Because guys, that's why guys are so obsessed with women's beauty and shape and size. Because men, they analyze for the next potential strong dude that comes after them. So my son, he needed to be 2 inches taller, 50 pounds heavier, 0.2% faster. Like, so when we meet a woman, we're looking at her like, yo, can I make a defensive tackle with her? Can I make LeBron James with her? Actually, me and her, we gonna make a Kyle Kuzma, so he'll be a little weird. You know what I mean? The same shit. So once again, you guys enjoyed the last comedian? Yeah! You goddamn right. Another round of applause for Laine Unsworth!
How much is one of these things? That's cool.
We are here at Lotus Lounge with Paul Ober.
What's up?
He's enamored with my recording device.
Yeah, I am. This thing is sick. It looks like a E.T. sort of spaceship thing.
Well, a lot of people think it's a breathalyzer.
It does. Oh, man, I'm dead sober. That's unfortunate for me. But, yeah, it does look kind of like that.
They get scared. They think it's some kind of police thing. I'm putting it in people's faces. They're like, what are you doing? What is that? And then I tell them it's a recording device, and they lose interest.
Yeah, no, that totally makes sense.
But, yeah, no, Google search. I mean, I just Google searched, like, good recording device podcast.
How much did this thing cost? Like $1,000?
No, it wasn't much. I don't remember if it was like 100 or 200. It was something like that. It wasn't ridiculous.
Wow, that's insane. I literally just had to take a payday loan to buy a $10 ticket.
Oh, no.
Someday I'll be able to get one of these.
Well, I studied audio engineering, actually. So
What?
Yeah, I was a musician and wrote songs, and I was really got into the recording, and I went to Musicians Institute and studied how to do programming in Logic and recording vocals and drums and all kinds of stuff. So recording voices is easy, but I have a full setup at home. But I didn't want to bring the laptop and all that stuff with me.
No,
everywhere
that makes
I go.
sense. And so now you got one of these things. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I have a degree in English teaching, and I don't even fucking use that.
Yeah.
I taught 6th grade for a year, and I hate parents, so now I don't.
Wow. So the parents are worse than the kids.
Way worse. They started banning books, and it was like I was teaching in Maine, and they banned Catcher in the Rye, not because of the drugs, not because of the prostitutes, because there was one sentence about Holden Caulfield being worried that his professor might be gay, and he questioned himself for a second. There's one sentence. They banned it.
One sentence?
One sentence. That includes that. And a parent
Did you
said...
say the word gay?
Yeah.
Oh. I don't know.
I don't know, but
Wow.
that's too
Well,
racy for Maine, where they
she
just
read
snowmobile and do weed.
At least the parents read it.
Yeah, exactly. That's a good
Wow.
point. They are literate enough to know.
So you get through the whole book to find that one sentence.
Or maybe they just stopped there because they didn't care anymore.
Maybe somebody like got them onto it. Like, hey, check page 213, and you're gonna find a bad sentence. You better ban that book.
Check page 213 for a good time.
That's something that would happen in the 80s.
Yeah, exactly. Except this happened in 2014 is when this happened. That's when a book got banned for having the word gay in it.
I don't know enough about that specific book, but I remember when I was a kid, it was "Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret," because I think she talks about starting her period or something, and it was a little kid's book.
Well,
about starting
everybody
her
knows
period.
that, the reason why women bleed down there is because you're a sinner, so.
Wow.
I'm kidding, I don't believe that. I'm bisexual, I brought my boyfriend, I bleed all the time. In a
Really?
different way, for a different reason, it's no big deal.
You know what I read, a statistic, I don't know if it's true, but they say 65% of whatever the new generation is, the kids these days, like 12-year-olds, are non-hetero. They're whatever else.
I don't know what that just meant. They're on what?
65 are not claiming heterosexual. They're claiming all
Really?
kinds of things: pansexual, bisexual, gay, trans, whatever, antisexual, asexual.
I hope most of them are asexual. If a 12-year-old's not asexual, it's just like, hey, I think I'm bi. I'm like, you don't fucking know yet. All right? When I was 13, was I starting to experiment into the bathtub with, some objects that I found, like shampoo bottles?
Oh my
Maybe.
God.
Maybe.
Oh,
Wait,
it sounds
you
like
didn't
my-
need to know that.
No, that sounds like a
This is now child porn podcast.
happened to
I'm so
me.
sorry. This happened to you?
shampoo bottles.
Oh, no. Who needs a hymen at that age,
You just need different brands of shampoo. There's a lot of different kinds. There's Prel. There's a lot of different bottles.
You know what I'm talking about. That's awesome.
That's really funny.
Isn't that a horrible thing to admit?
Deodorants.
Well, those are two. Those are
There's
like a
different
weird
types.
shape.
There's
Yeah.
there's the roll-on.
Yeah.
Has to be a roll-on.
The
Anyway.
best was conditioners.
Oh, conditioner. It has
Almost
to be conditioner.
always- yeah,
They're
well,
the
they're-
same as a shampoo.
No, they're
Exactly
not.
the same.
No, they're not. They usually come in those cylinder bottles, and they're smaller. Shampoo bottles always have these weird rectangle shapes. No good.
Well, we're learning a lot here.
Yeah, this is for all of your younger listeners. This is an education podcast.
This is actually, I mark explicit on every episode because I know there's going to be dirty jokes because we're at a dive bar, we're doing dirty comedy. So this should
Hank
be
fuck.
interesting. All right, so where can people find you on social media or wherever?
Sure. Find me on Motivation Comedy on Instagram. I'm going to be getting YouTube sometime. I don't know, just deal with my funny posts for now.
Cool. All right, thank you.
Oh, and I
Paul
have...
Ober.
Yes, Paul Ober. And quick plug, I have my first ever Comedy Store set coming up on April 3rd. I'm freaking the fuck out. I just got booked there on
cool.
Saturday. Yeah. So April 3rd, come watch me open for John Campanelli in the Belly Room. Yeah. Why'd I make that noise? I'm not the kind of person that says that. I'm sorry.
Yes, you are. All righty.
Yes, you are.
So we want to keep it going. You guys ready for this next comedian? This guy sounds like he has a good job. So give a round of applause for a man that has a good job. You like a guy named Paul? I said you like a guy named Paul. So give me a clap for Paul Ober.
I wish every mic had you. It's fucking awesome. Alright, hey guys, I'm Paul. Nice to meet you. Thanks. I'm bisexual. Thank you so much. I hate being the second bisexual guy because I never have anything in fucking common with the first bisexual guy. My parents were great. I mean, I was adopted, so my second set of parents were great. But goddamn, it's just I'm not. See, you seem like a nice guy, but I'm not going to talk about hockey with you. I love you too. Oh man, I'm bisexual. Fuck. I know I look like I was in a fraternity, but like that just means that I found some hot guys to have sex with. My boyfriend's here tonight. It's Sydney. Take a look. He's the guy who looks like he could split me in half with one hump. Thank you. This guy's 6'1", I'm 5'9", right? He's 280 pounds. He's half black. Yeah. I just miss being able to like walk down the street hand in hand with like my significant other, right? And have people at least wonder for a second who the bottom is. It's just physics, guys, right? I'm not bringing this guy's feet up by his ears. He's a lineman. Like, I'm not putting this guy up in the shower stall, right? Like, I was an athlete. I'm not a fucking Olympian. It's like, ah! I got chicken legs. That shit ain't happening. But it's weird because, like, I'm one of the straight acting dudes, right? I'm one of those, like, hidden, like, has a boyfriend for 3 years. Our anniversary is on March 17th. St. Patty's Day. That's proof that, like, I used to date girls, right? That, like, St. Patty's Day was the mistake day. Where it's just like, let's experiment. This seems good. I had green beer today. Oh, man. I'm straight acting, right? So I can, like, chug a beer as good as chug a dick. Yeah. I like taking it doggy style. That's my favorite, so we can both watch the Patriots game together. I could be making fun of like a 12-year-old playing Call of Duty, right? Saying like, your mom's a whore, while like hiccuping cum bubbles. When I go to his dad's house, I gotta use the bathroom upstairs to hide the sound my ass makes. Anybody got hand sanitizer? I'm afraid lately. Whatever, I just want to use that hand. Yeah, I am adopted. I'm adopted. So it's weird being adopted, you know, because like, you know, my parents loved me enough to like not abort me, but didn't love me enough to have me. And I'm starting to, when you get older, you start looking at things different, right? You know, I'm starting to realize that my adopted family, like, they fucking bought me. I cost like 40 grand. I don't think they knew I had this bad of eczema. Like, when I was a kid, like, my parents chose their kid, and my mom still became an alcoholic. It must be me. Right? Like, I'm not saying, like, you know, it was definitely my fault. What I am saying is that I would have to have a couple beers if I had to take a leaf blower to my kids' sheets before I washed them. That's gross shit. That's so gross. They wanted, like, this beautiful summer boy, and they got a fucking snowflake blizzard. They got Frosty the Snowman. That's disgusting. It was weird, right? Growing up with eczema that bad. I was so self-conscious about it, and I remember going into elementary school with like a bright red face and curly blonde hair, looking like a fucking Oompa Loompa fucked a croissant. It was so hard having a crush on like the most popular girl. Her name was Caroline Perderio. Look her up. I'm sure she still exists. She was the hot girl in first grade. You know what I mean? Like she won the spelling bee. Anyways, one time in class, I decided that I finally had the guts to sit next to her, and I started scratching my head like fucking crazy, right? And it just like, because I was so nervous, just like my dandruff was so bad that this fucking emergency alert fell on her. She screams, runs out after sneezing a couple times, and I run into the fucking bathroom, and like, if you went to the boys' room that day, you would see 3 empty stalls and a fucking snowstorm that was crying. I'm sorry for telling that joke. Thanks, man. I fundraise for a children's charity. That's my job. That's what I do, 40 hours a week. Fundraising for a children's charity, like, we get people to sign up for $20 a month, right? Like, have you guys, how many of you go to Whole Foods? Sweet. You ever see, like, one of those people with a tablet outside that you try to avoid, like it's Bird Box? Like, if you make eye contact, your eyes start bleeding, and you just fucking walk towards them with your credit card out. Want to save kids? You look friendly. That's me. It's weird. It's a lot like a sales job, right? Because we got to get 20 a month, so there's a little bit of sales involved. Except it's not. Because, like, say you sell vacuum cleaners. You don't sell many vacuums that day. You can go home and be like, I don't fucking care. You go drink, life goes on, right? When you fundraise for a children's charity and you don't get any sign-ups, like you sleep with the lights on, you're like, I did bad at my job today. And kids died because of it.
Oh, shit.
And so you can't sleep, so you gotta go get a drink. So you go to the kitchen, you pour yourself a cup of Jack Daniels, right? Got a couple ice cubes in it. But you don't drink it, because you don't deserve it. And each ice cube floating in it is just more water for those African kids. Fuck. Fundraising for a children's charity. We help a lot of kids at the border right now, which is pretty cool. I think they don't get enough help. So you can imagine like how super nice and caring and compassionate all the racist people are before they hear that shit. Right? It's like, hey, we're helping out some kids. Oh, well, how can I help? Oh, they're at the border. I hope they burn. Then they always feel bad, right? So they're just like, I donate to my church. That makes it worse. Right. What else was I going to fucking talk about while I was up here? That's like my whole life story right there, like in a nutshell. I guess I'll talk about my parents. My parents, who here has been to Sedona, Arizona?
Oh, it's the shit.
Oh, it's the shit?
With the juniper trees.
With the jugga?
Yeah, and they got the energy centers.
The energy centers, yeah. So you get it. For those of you guys who don't know, a bunch of hippies got lost in the desert, and to get people to come and enjoy commerce there, they made up some bullshit about magnetic fields and spirituality. But it's cool that you like it. It's totally fine. My parents are super into it too, right? I'm just saying, like, maybe. You know, maybe. A bunch of hippies got lost in the desert. They have nothing to sell. They look around, and all they see is fucking rocks. Right? One guy's like, oh, well, nobody's going to want to buy rocks. And the other guy's like, I bet you they'll buy magic rocks. And the other guy's like, but they're not magic rocks. And that guy is buried in the desert somewhere. Millions of people buy rocks from Sedona every single year. Like, my mom's really into this, right? She totally believes in it. She's got this blue rock from Sedona that she swears makes her fuck like a racehorse. I know this because she told me. I don't know. Could be true. It could be not. What I do know is my dad keeps flying her there once a year to get more. All right, that's my time. Thank you guys. I'm Paul Ober.
Hell yeah. Another round of applause for Paul, the bad man, Ober. So I actually used to live in Phoenix, Arizona before I moved the fuck here. And I'm going to tell you one thing about Arizona, man. Yeah, that shit is real, son. The time doesn't change in Arizona. Where else does time not change? East Coast, spring forward, fall back. We just sprung forward the other day, right? Sprung forward, fall back. Everywhere else. But Arizona does not change time. It is the center of the fucking universe. Now, little racist, little biggity, but that's what America's all about. You know what I'm saying? No round of applause for the guy that came and said, Mr. Paul Ober! I like him. Now, I'm completely straight. Like big booty women with no self-esteem. That's my thing, right? But for a couple of gay guys, between Paul and Carson Cash, great porno movie. That's all I'm saying. Like, they look like two Zac Efrons. It's like, if you watch two Zac Efrons fucking, tell me you're not hype. Joe's into it. She knows. She's like, yeah, you know what I mean? I like that young sperm. It tastes better. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like, look, no homo. But they're fucking hot, bro. That's all I'm saying.
I saw you shirtless. I saw that. Not my type.
Oh, yeah, you know, I'll do what I can. There you go, a little bit. But because real men can recognize another man's attractiveness. Like, I'm a club dude, right? So dudes come up, they're like, yo, where the bitches at? I'm like, oh, he just told me I was hot. Like, that's how a guy lets you know he think you look good. Like, a straight man, he won't walk up and be like, oh, you were attractive. He'll be like, yo, fam, where the bitches at? Yo, fam, where the hoes at? I know you know where the bitches at. I'm like, you are a complete stranger. And you just assume I can stick my penis in anything. Gay as shit. So you guys ready for this? next comedian? So we got 3 more motherfuckers. You guys ready to finish this shit out back to back like cook crack? So the next lady comes to the stage. She a Philadelphia-born lady. Husky, short name, kind of smooth, strong woman, raises strong babies. You guys like strong babies? You goddamn right. So you ready for this lady coming to the stage? So we got a 10 together. I need a D-A-N-A-D-A-N-A-D-A-N-A-D-A-N-A. Another Papa Dino!
Give it up for my Philly boy. Okay. Hang on before he kills himself. How are y'all this fine evening? Glad to hear it. So I went in my husband's glove box the other day. I said, honey, what's this? He said, oh, I bought you a mask for the coronavirus. Put that shit on. I said, is that a pair of ladies' underwear? That's what that shit looks like. No. My husband, we're actually in what I call a bi-curious relationship. So we're actually bi-coastal. He's on one half and I'm on the other, and it's the best fucking relationship ever. After 30 years. People are worried about this coronavirus, but I see a lot of positives that people don't seem to see. Like, for example, I have a case of toilet paper and a case of paper towels. I am currently looking to trade that shit for a 2-bedroom condo downtown. Think I'm going to be successful. So, men are actually more affected by this virus and dying off at a much higher rate. So, maybe we'll finally get a female president. Maybe. And hey, if you're a lesbian, things are really looking up. Old people are dying at a much higher rate. So, if you don't like Trump, and you know that most people over 80 were voting for Trump, well, things are looking good in the next election. So, there's really a lot of positives we could focus on instead of all the negatives. That's the way you gotta look at it, right? So I am from Philly, as Mista See said.
Yeah.
Where's everybody from? Anybody here from LA? Not a person. No matter where I go, I can't find a fucking person from this town. Can't find them. I'm gonna start putting them on milk cartons. Have you seen this person from LA? I mean, something like 100,000 people a year are born here. I think I have maybe found 3 in the 3 years that I've been here. Seems like everybody's, for the most part, from the East Coast. So maybe there's something to that flat earth thing that for everybody that comes over from the East Coast, we gotta ship somebody from LA back there to keep it level. Maybe that's why we have earthquakes. Like, too many people quickly rush out. No shit, we didn't get enough back. Could be. So we'll just send them all over there. So I also noticed that this town doesn't have a whole lot of sports pride, right? So in Philly, we are crazy, right, Mista See?
Yes,
no,
ma'am.
we're not crazy sports fans. We are fucking crazy animals, okay? Philadelphia has the only stadium in the country that has a courtroom inside of it, okay? So before the first quarter is over, you can be ticketed, tried, convicted, and thrown out to watch the Barney game. Only state that you can find that in. They actually hold court at every game. We are known for throwing snowballs at Santa Claus.
Fuck Santa.
That's right. Fuck Santa.
Fuck Santa.
That is what we are known for as a city. That is really sad, right? And they call it the city of brotherly love.
Glass bottles on the Sixer game. That's why they stopped giving glass bottles. Because we threw
That's right.
bottles on the court.
We threw them too. Yep. We'll fucking throw anything. We'll throw you off a building. Doesn't bother us. Especially if you're an LA person. So I went over to a Rams game when they were playing Philly last year. And I noticed, it was nothing but a sea of Eagles jerseys. And I thought, shit, man, this wouldn't last 10 seconds in Philadelphia. You'd have 3 Rams jerseys and they'd throw you off the fucking thing. Boom, boom. We would never stand for that shit. It's hysterical. And I'm like, the entire stadium, they're making noise. Wow. It's definitely interesting out here. You have have this amazing thing here of these car chases, right? I mean, LA could have a channel for car chases. There are so many of them. Philadelphia, no such thing. Would not happen. Now, I have figured out how to solve the car chase issue. Okay? Philadelphia has a Dunkin' Donuts on just about every corner. And in every Dunkin', you'll find at least a half a dozen cops. So if we put more Dunkins, we can do a couple of things. We can stop the car chases, because the cops are never leaving the Dunkin' Donuts. Plus, have you ever noticed if you try to call 911 out here, there's a good chance you're going to get hung up on or put on hold? Okay, I actually tried to call in a tree on fire in the middle of the fire season as the flames were shooting onto the highway, and I repeatedly got, please hold. The fuck is that? So if you needed emergency assistance, pretty much you would just, at most run a couple of blocks into a Dunkin', and there would always be a cop there to help you. Plus, we could all get in a little better shape just jogging down the Dunkin', right? It's good. You see, in Philly, there would never be a police chase because, A, the cop would have to get up, and the cop goes, what did they give me a gun for? Shoot the motherfucker. I mean, it's really hard to run with a coffee and donut in one hand. And in Philly, if you drop that donut, that's a real 911. That's the shit that's going to really piss them off. My name is Dana Olita. Thank you very much.
That's right. Another round of applause for Dana Olita. And as a Philadelphia guy with a father who's an ex-police officer, yes, my father was a cop, and used to beat me when he got drunk, but it was love. There's a difference between abuse and beatings, right? So if your parent is abusive, they don't explain anything. They kind of haul off on you. They just beat the shit out of you, right? If your parent is a disciplinarian, they say, you leave you downstairs at 3:30. And you put some Vaseline on your butt, because I'm about to whip the shit out of you, because you fucked up in school. Discipline versus abuse. Who agrees? All right. I'm just telling you. If anybody had a bad night tonight, go home and beat your kids just to let them know you love them. I'm telling you. That's how I know my parents love me. I'm telling you. When your parents don't love you, they don't beat you. That's all I'm saying. That's terrible. It's true, but terrible.
All right, there's our show, episode 88 of Dive Bar Comedy. I am Wild Joe. Thank you so much for listening. Please subscribe to our channel. You can find us at divebarcomedy.com or wherever you listen to podcasts. We're on the Android platform, iPhone, all over the place. So look up Dive Bar Comedy and subscribe so you can hear us every week. Stay safe, people. Stay informed and stay in touch. Write to us. Alrighty. Thanks a lot.